Hello all MRBers and welcome to another video with me, Mike McRock, one half of the McRock Bolt Wrestling Review Show. Right now, I am going to deliver to you guys out there watching on YouTube right now this review for this week's episode of WWE NXT. And we kick off the show this week with Emma, with Dana Brooke taking on Australian diva Shaza, and this was a basic enhancement match where Emma gets the win here. There was really nothing to this match, nothing special, and really nothing accomplished. So to me, there was just no point to this match other than Emma going over. Move on, next match. And we get Jason Jordan and Chad Gable versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And I really like this match. I dug this match for a good number of reasons. One, that moment at the beginning where you saw Tommaso Ciampa and Chad Gable lock hands on their backs with on the top of their heads touching the mat. It's really cool to see moments like that, and it really works even with the timing. When the timing is right, that was a really good picture moment in my opinion. And the fans were really into the match, chanting, "This is wrestling." And Jordan, Gable. However, I felt like they were going a little bit overboard when they were chanting, "This is awesome," when the match was getting good. To me, that diminishes that chant, but overall, I really like this match, and you can argue that this should have main evented the show based on the in-ring work that both teams provided here. I mean, the first half was a really good back to forth with really good tag team action, and the second half turned into a cliched tag team match. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I'm just saying it just came across that way, but in an effective way as much as possible. And I really liked the execution of it. It was good. It felt right, especially at the end where Jason Jordan and Chad Gable won this match, which only elevated their stock. It really felt right for them to win this match. And when it comes to Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, I feel like something needs to happen to them before they get lost in the shuffle as a tag team. Maybe the best way to go with the two of them is to possibly have them split up, maybe feud with one another, with one being the heel and the other being the babyface. And if I'm going to go in that direction, I would have Tommaso Ciampa be the heel in that. I like to see him come out as a heel, and I think that the fans would really get behind a guy like Johnny Gargano based on how NXT books the guys. So to me, that's the best thing for them in my opinion, and the match was good, really good. We got Nia Jax versus Kaylee Ray, and again another enhancement match where Nia Jax looks good and strong at the end, and like I said, it's an enhancement match. It felt more like that than a jobber squash, and probably not the best thing to do. I don't want to see Nia Jax get hit yet in a match. I just like to see her come out and just dominate, squash someone, and then that's it. That's what I want to see. I want to see Nia Jax be a dominant force and maybe show a little bit more. Not too much, but just a little bit more. And I also like that NXT is working with Nia Jax starting from the bottom and not from the top, because to me that really rushes things, and I like what they're doing so far with Nia Jax. Let this progress in a slow way, not too slow, but in a really good pace. We got Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Dash and Dawson, and this wasn't even a match. What happened was Dash and Dawson attacked Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy from behind on the stage, and you could tell when it was going to happen because of the way Enzo was positioned on stage behind Big Cass. So they kind of telegraphed it. It was kind of obvious what they were going to do there. And I like it. To me, you really didn't need this match to happen because it happened last week based on what happened, which I still think is just an excuse for Dash and Dawson to get their licks in after the match. I still don't agree with that. However, I think they kind of corrected that wrong here, and like I said, you didn't need the match, you just needed Dash and Dawson make a statement, and they've done a good job with that. I'm just wondering now if they're going to turn this into a story, or is this going to be like a write-off for Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, or is this just a way for Dash and Dawson to be the next contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships? Because I'm not really sure where they're going with that just yet. Now, when it comes to Apollo Crews and his story part 2, we get into that segment where they talk about his debut at TakeOver Brooklyn on his birthday, and the number 1 contenders Battle Royal, saying he's going to be the next NXT champion. And to me, I found this story, the second part, not as interesting as the first, because in the first we got to see his family, how he grew up, etc., etc. And with this bio story part 2, this is stuff we already seen before, so I didn't just find this interesting at all. Not that it was a bad segment, I just didn't find it interesting. And we even got to see Finn Balor close off the show by saying that Crews one day will be champion, but it won't be next week. And I really question why Crews is actually getting in this position for an NXT championship match. And the only explanation I could really think of is that maybe they're going to use Apollo Crews maybe as a third wheel to advance the story between Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, which I will get to in just a bit, or maybe a returning of Hideo Itami. Who knows? Who knows what NXT is going to do? But I still stand by when I say that Apollo Crews winning the championship as of this point is completely way too soon for him. And we get to the main event here, Samoa Joe versus Tyler Breeze. And going into it, I feel like that NXT kind of gave this matchup just a little bit too early. I would have liked to see just a little bit more anticipation and build up to this match, maybe at the next 2-hour special, maybe in a couple of weeks time, but not right now. I felt like this is another feud that they kind of missed out on a good opportunity to maybe just build up a little bit more. But with that said, I thought it was a good match. It was an okay way to close out the show. Like I said, I think the tag team match between Jason Jordan and Chad Gable versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa was the match of the night. And to me, maybe that should have main evented the show. But I do understand why they had this match main event, because they played this off with the Battle Royal that happened a couple of weeks ago, where Tyler Breeze pulled out Samoa Joe. I get it, I understand it, but I still think that the tag team match we got earlier should have main evented. But with this one, it was fine. The match was fine. I think that they got it right with Samoa Joe winning this match. And it just seems like that NXT is kind of treating this as a bump in the road for Samoa Joe to face Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. And if that's the case, I think maybe Balor should retain if he does face Samoa Joe for the titles, because to me he benefits more and he stands out more as an individual than Samoa Joe does, because he doesn't really benefit from holding the NXT title, in my opinion. But with that said, I think that with this week's episode, they accomplished what they needed to do. It wasn't a great episode. It was an okay episode with some mistakes along the way, but I was still entertained with this 1-hour episode of NXT. And if you saw this show, what did you think about it? Feel free to leave those comments right here in the comment section below. And you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video as well to become an MRBer on the MR Wrestling Review Show.